Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am doing a client's nails. I'm first going to start off by pushing back the cuticle. Next I'm using a cuticle bit and just going around the cuticle and removing any dead skin that is on the nail plate. And if I'm sounding a little different in this video, it's because my throat is a little raspy and I'm a little congested due to seasonal allergies, so please forgive me. And that spot you are seeing on the tip of her nail plate is not a greenie, I promise. It's just where her nail bed has lifted from her nail a little and there's dirt trapped under there. I tried to clean it out as best as I could, but I couldn't and I didn't want to hurt her. Now I've switched the direction of my nail drill and now I'm going the other way and continuing to clean up that cuticle. Next, I'm taking my cuticle nippers and just taking away any dead cuticle that is around the nail bed. And I don't know about you, but this was oddly satisfying and kind of gross, the way it all came off in one piece. Next, I'm taking my sanding band and just buffing up the nail plate, making sure to remove all shine. That way our product adheres really well. I am going to be using nail tips. That's just my preferred method. When applying my nail tips, I try to make sure the client's fingers are straight. That way I can make sure that I apply the nail tip straight. I also hold down the sides of the nail tip to make sure they're not sticking up. Here I am just making sure that all the nail tips are straight and that none of them are crooked. Now I'm taking my hand file and I am just shaping up the tip. We're going for a sort of tapered square today. It's not quite square, but it's not quite coffin. It's kind of like a little skinny square. Next, I'm taking the OPI Band-Aid and I'm thoroughly dehydrating her nails. You want to make sure to dehydrate the nails, that way there's no natural oils on the nail plates that can stop the product from sticking to it. Next, I'm taking the No Lift Nails primer and priming her nails. This is an acid-based primer, not an acid-free. This primer works really well on this client's nails. Her nail sets usually last her about 4 to 5 weeks, if not longer. Next, I'm taking Mia Secret's clear acrylic powder and using it to apply a thin base onto all of her nails. I do this to blend in the natural nail with the nail tip instead of filing the nail tip to blend it in with the natural nails. I also find that the sets last longer with the clear base. Here I am just showing you just how thin that base is. Next, I'm taking this peachy nude and using this for our nail bed. Today we are going with a chevron French tip, so I'm first starting off by creating the shape of the nail bed. So I'm bringing it down in the shape that I'm wanting, trying to keep it as smooth as possible. That way when it hardens, I don't have to file the edges as much. Here I am just making sure that I brought that tip down as far as I did the first nail. Now I'm going to be going in with my cuticle bead. I'm setting it near the cuticle but not all the way up. And with my brush, I'm just going to slightly push it to the cuticle without touching it. And with the finger pointing downward, it's going to pull down by itself and leave a nice smooth transition. Then I'm swiping away the sides and then blending in the rest of that bead with that tip. So I've already built in my apex with that nude color. For the free edge color, I am going to be using Milky White by Glam & Glitz and White Sand, also by Glam & Glitz. And these are both going to go on the nail tip. Before I apply the tip color, I am just going to take my hand file and just further crispen up those edges. That way we have a nice, crisp, sharp smile line. Or chevron line, I should say. So now I'm taking that milky white shade and kind of using like a watery bead. That way I can just apply a thin layer, and that way I can move it around easily and make it go where I want it to. I'm also trying to make sure I don't get any of this white on the nail plate, since I do still have to put the white sand shade over it. Next, I'm taking that white sand shade and doing the exact same thing using watery-ish beads, not too watery so it's running everywhere, but just enough so I can easily move it around where I want to, kind of scooting it like you would a gel. Finally, I'm taking that same Clear Me Secret powder that I used in the beginning and using it to encapsulate the design. That way when we file, we don't file away our beautiful design. Now it's time for our shaping and filing. I'm first starting off by taking this safety ceramic bit and going around the cuticle, making sure that's smooth, and also using it to go over the entire nail to smoothen it out. I'm also making sure I look at it from all angles to ensure that it's all nicely shaped, that it's not thicker on one side than the other. Now I'm taking my hand file and just further shaping up the nail and crisping up those edges. Now it's time for top coat. I'm using the Kiara Sky non-wipe top coat, and now it's time for the magic. I'm first starting off by putting it on the nail plate and scooting that top coat down back to the cuticle. And ready? Look at that beautiful shimmer. Ugh, I wish my camera actually did it justice. It looked so much more pretty in person, guys. I'm so sad that you can't see just how beautiful it was in person, but it still looks really pretty in the video. It's also kind of hard to see since the nail bed color is pale and so is the tip, but I loved the way it looked. It looks so beautiful. That shimmer just sparkles in all the right ways. I also felt like this would be a beautiful set for a wedding day. Like, this does not scream bride to you. Anyway, that is it for today's video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up if you did like it. Here you can actually see a little bit more of that nail bed and nail tip. I tilted her fingers upward so you can see a little bit more of that sparkle. Also, if you have any video suggestions that you might want to see, you can go ahead and leave those down below in the comments, and I will be taking a look at those. Anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!